we start, guys, do you want to just have a statement about how the game was for you, how you saw it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously really happy to win. Thought the team dug really deep in the last 5 minutes, particularly we've spoken about identity for the last week and certainly throughout the entire pre-season about what type of team we want to be and what type of team we can be. To keep a team to 7 points in the last quarter is exceptional. And we measure, we can measure defence in a number of ways metrically, but typically we work for what we call kills, which is 3 defensive stops in a row without fouling, without giving up an offensive rebound. I thought the team locked in incredibly well in that last quarter. So we actually finished the game with 3 kills, which is 9 consecutive stops. That, and you probably look at the first 5 minutes of the game again, where we kept the 7 points, and I feel like if you could bottle up that 10 minutes of basketball, we're going to be in a good place. So that's where we're at. We're game 1. We've had 10 days together as a team. We lost 2 important pieces, but this team dug deep today and found a way to win. And again, I think at one point we just spoke about 4, they had a 7-point lead at one stage. I think Adelaide are tough. I know one team we've been playing, an Adelaide team. They're fit, that Hurst pre-season training regime. Heard stories. And it commands respect, and her teams play, good basketball. I think they play the right way. So yeah, really happy.
Yeah, cool. And Sami, what about you? First game in Spirit colours, the crowd, figured out anytime you go near the ball is something to get pretty excited about. How was it out there for you?
I really enjoyed playing. I've enjoyed playing with the group since I've been here. It was nice to not have to play, against each other in training, to get to go out and all play together. It was really fun. We're going to have lots of takeaways from this game. There's going to be things that we can learn and get better at, absolutely. But I think to play, a really tough team, game 1, to fight the way that we did, it wasn't pretty at times. It was physical. It didn't always go our way. But I thought there was a point where we really just put our heads down and just, came together and got, like Coach said, got the stops that we needed. Stayed together, stayed poised when we needed to. I'm really impressed with us for game 1.
And you mentioned, Kennedy, that you guys have only been together as a group for 10 days. You've obviously recruited pretty heavy in the off season, but at the same time, you need to be able to be a cohesive group to be successful out there. How do you think you made that so far in game 1 tonight?
I thought experience won the game today in a number of ways. For example, we're fortunate to have probably the most dynamic scoring 2-guard that's possibly ever played in the WNBL, playing with us, but also probably underrated. Tolo, for example, today, the screen setting, the gravity she had whenever she rolled to the rim, she drew a crowd. We shot 50% from the 3-point line, and a lot of that was a byproduct of unselfish team play, Tolo commanding the paint and forcing defenders towards her, people believing in their ability to shoot the ball. Kelly coming off the bench and playing really significant minutes for us and being able to, again, lead the team in different ways just with her ability to facilitate for her teammates. Abby making big plays and big threes down the stretch. She's an 150-plus gamer in the league. So I thought our experience really came through for us today in a number of different ways. Obviously, Sami was incredible and did a great job of adapting to the level of physicality. I think too, to the same point, I thought, and I know that officials get a really rough run, but I actually thought it was incredibly consistent today. I thought they did a good job of setting a tone and allowing the game to be played that way. And for us, the adjustment for us is, we'll continue to get better at that. I think this group will adapt. They're incredibly talented and experienced and smart. So I think that if that's the way it's going to be played this season, we'll continue to get better at playing in that environment.
Obviously tough few days knowing that Kelsey and Ash are out. What would you like to share about that, and how long are you expecting them to be out for?
I think the first thing I'll say is that there are so many other ways to contribute, and the one thing I will certainly say in KG's situation is that she's so much more than a basketball player. She was giving feedback to players after timeouts, as they're coming into huddles, to the coaching staff throughout the game. I know that KG never wants to be a coach, but I'm telling you from my experience, she'd be an exceptional coach if she ever wanted to go down that path. But yeah, again, there's so much more. And Ash Hannon, you know, for her, it's a shin awareness. Really, it's probably going to be short term, possibly short term for both of them. So they'll continue to get assessed week by week. You know, who knows? They could be back as early as next week or possibly next round after that.
And Sami, how was it for you stepping up and I guess wearing the captain's armband, so to speak, in your first game for the Spirit?
I didn't tell her, sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know. So
Yeah.
it doesn't, honestly, it doesn't change. You know, it's obviously always a privilege and honor when that happens. I know I'm a part of the sort of that leadership group anyways, but you know, when you're 36 and a mom, like it's sort of really innate and natural for me anyways, so it doesn't really change. I try to be a good teammate, I try to talk, I try to you know, help where I can and be vocal and all those things, but like it doesn't sort of impact you know, anything.
And you spoke a lot about experience, but speaking about youth, when Asha came on at the end of the first quarter and, you know, her first shot in WNBL, that was a pretty cool moment. Can you talk us through your decision to bring her on and what it was like for you guys on court?
Yeah, I think from a coach's perspective, you know, the coaches suggested that perhaps we give Toll an extended break, so try and get her out for the last minute of the quarter, and you know, potentially we give her 3 in that space. Now Ash has been putting in a lot of work all pre-season, and the most impressive thing with her, she's been doing it while she's studying. She's currently in exam mode in year 12, finishing high school, and you know, so the cognitive load on that kid, for her to be able to come out and make a shot in that moment was you know, incredible. I think to that same point, what was almost more impressive was the fact that every single player got up off the bench and got around her after that shot. And that just shows the sort of chemistry that we're building with this group here. So yeah, it's always nice to make your first shot. Really, really happy and proud of her in that moment. And she played some incredible pinch minutes for us. I think she played four incredibly important minutes for us because that gave Tolo the respite and the rest that she needed. And
last one, just want a couple of words on Casey. She was pretty exceptional today.
Yeah, I mean, I think Casey is an incredibly underrated, gritty, tough player. Certainly, every physical contest, if there's a physical contest to be had, you know, Casey's probably involved in it in some way, shape, or form. What I was most impressed with tonight was her ability to rebound, block out, and space the floor for us and shoot. And again, you know, she's another player with you know, 150 plus games experience, so she's certainly been around for a long time now, and you know, we've been fortunate enough to get some really great basketball of her, and I still think her best is ahead of her.
Awesome. That's all I got for you guys. Do you have anything?
I'm thinking going to next week, it's a big challenge for you, Canberra and then against Geelong. How do you prepare for those games? And when you talk about takeaway Sami, what are areas you look at really trying to focus on for those games?
Yeah, look, I think for a couple of things, how do we prepare? We'll prepare the same way we prepare for every other team.
Right.
You know, the week won't change. We give every team the same level of respect. Going to play at the AIS Arena, it's going to be 4,000 people sold out. It's going to be a great atmosphere to play in front of. I thought our home crowd was exceptional today as well. You know, again, anyone that plays at this level wants to play in front of a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, so from that perspective, preparation will look exactly the same. From a game plan perspective, that will change game by game. I think Canberra will obviously potentially give us some different challenges that, you know, perhaps Adelaide didn't give us tonight. So, you know, right now we'll just enjoy the win for at least, I'll give myself 12 hours grace. And I mean, we've got most of it prepped up for next game, so we'll start going through that process starting Monday.
Yep. In terms of injuries, got through okay?
Yeah, no.
It was such a physical game, a few players hit the court.
No, recovery will be pretty important over the next 48 hours for this group.
For sure.
You're good?
Yep.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You.
Thank you.